property.
Did she contribute to stuff?
She didn't put a single penny in.
Okay, I'd say no.
Right, this is one of those grey areas.
Okay.
She can potentially have an interest, but it goes back to our conversation last week. If they didn't put anything in writing, then we're looking at that whole evidence of common intention and looking at how they conducted the relationship, and basically it will be a very difficult road for Jennifer, and she'll have to go down proving that Gary, that Steve said that she...
You nearly said Gary then.
I know he said Gary. I'm looking at Gary.
Don't bring me into it, Sheena. I wasn't involved.
Yeah.
So again, if Jennifer and Steve were married, completely different situation. Doesn't matter who put money into the property. Doesn't matter that she's not paid a single penny. Doesn't matter that she's not paid towards the mortgage. Because of their marriage, she would have an interest.
Right.
As a cohabitee, Jennifer does not necessarily have the same interest. Okay?
Okay.
So we've dealt with the property.
Yes.
Now we're going to move on. So let's look at pensions. Let's pretend that Jennifer was approaching retirement.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's given up her job. She hasn't built up her own pension pot.
Okay.
Not to the extent she should
She's
have.
been looking after Steve all that time.
She's been looking after Steve. She's been cooking him.
She's been
salmon.
You've seen the pictures on
I've
Twitter.
seen the pictures on Twitter. Check them out.
Sounds like a sponger, actually. I don't know what she's been doing.
Now, do you think that Jennifer can claim against some of Steve's pension?
Well, I am beginning to see a pattern here, but I would say that if she's been putting aside her own interests and he's earning and with her support has been able to save a pension pot, that she should get some of it.
She should, but unfortunately she's got absolutely no legal right to it. Now, if Jennifer is married to Steve, she has. As a cohabitee, she does not have any right to Steve's pension.
If she was married, how would she get?
So, if she was married, we would automatically say that Steve's pension falls into the matrimonial pot and is subject to division, no matter, in whose name any asset is. If you're married, it just falls into a joint pot.
Marriage is sounding good.
Marriage,
and that's unusual for me to say.
Drina, I have a question for you.
I haven't got a pension, I know that's not coming.
So, that's pensions. Let's talk about maintenance now.
Let's.
So we're not talking about child maintenance here.
No.
We're talking about what we call spousal maintenance.
Maintaining the woman.
Yes,
or
or the
man.
man. Or the man,
Or
yeah.
the man.
It can be both these days. So let's pretend that Jennifer is 70 in this situation and Steve's 70 as well. Jennifer has been supported by Steve throughout their relationship because she's been looking after the children. She's been having a lovely time.
Yeah.
She is dependent upon Steve financially.
Okay.
Now, as a cohabitee, if they separate, what do you think Jennifer can do, if anything? Does she have any right to claim maintenance from Steve?
I'm beginning to see a pattern.
And the answer is...
No.
Jennifer does not have any rights at all. If Jennifer was married to Steve, she would automatically have that right.
I'm beginning to worry, Sheena. What can we do about this?
Well...
Did you hear that, everybody? What can we do about this? What can we do about
What
this?
can we do?
I need some help here.
Well, unfortunately, as it stands at the moment, there is no statute, there is no law in place that gives cohabitees the same rights as a married person. So at this point in time, there isn't anything we can do insofar as pensions, maintenance. We talked about the property last week, and we addressed some of the things that a cohabitee can start to think about when they're looking to move in with somebody.
Okay. So, is there any other scenarios we should be aware of?
I'm going to touch on two other scenarios. Now, if Steve owns a business, I'm making this all Steve, obviously.
Steve's a bad man. I don't like
goes
Steve
both ways.
anymore. He's a baddie.
Let's pretend that Steve owned his own company and he was really successful, and Jennifer might have helped out every now and again, at home, on the quiet, with the accounts, etc. As a cohabitee, if they separate, can Jennifer claim against Steve's business?
All the hours she worked, she's going to invoice him, set up her own business and invoice him for all the work she did as his secretary. Wrong answer.
Wrong answer. Again, we go back to the lack of rights for cohabitees at the moment. If Jennifer and Steve were married as a business asset, that business would fall into the matrimonial pot and we'd be subject to joint division. As a cohabitee, that does not exist, and Jennifer does not have any right.
It's just not fair, is it?
It's not fair. It's completely not fair. And it's really important that people enter cohabitee situations with full knowledge of what they expect to get out of it.
It's almost like you're being forced into a marriage, doesn't it?
It's almost like that. I mean, marriage isn't for everybody, so I'm not necessarily saying that you should all marry, but it is important, particularly if there are children, or if you're in the sort of situation that Jennifer is in, where she's become reliant on Steve. She needs to know where she stands. But
it's not terribly romantic to start bringing up cohabitee agreements and stuff like that, is it? Really? I mean, how would you bring that up, or when should you bring it up?
Well, I would bring it up at the beginning. I accept that's going to be completely different, but it's better than coming to solicitor at 0.25 years when you're being advised upon all this. I know we've got a very short time left. I'm just going to quickly say one more really important thing about cohabitees: death.
Nice.
We're going to get morbid.
That's one way out of it.
If you're named as a beneficiary in someone's will, that's fine. I'm talking about Steve and Jennifer here. So if Jennifer is named as a beneficiary in Steve's will, fine. If she is not as a cohabitee, she is not his next of kin. And if Steve has forgotten to make a will, for example, she will have to fight, potentially, for any interest in all of the assets that they might have built up together.
Good grief.
So
get married, everybody. That's what I'm saying. We have actually run out of time. Again, it's so quick. We may be needing a whole session just with you, Sheena. If you want to get in touch with Sheena, she is tagging on Twitter at the moment at OMM Law.
That's right.
Also, she advertises in the Vine magazine. You can go to thevinemagazine.com and look at the library for the MK South area. You can see all Sheena's contact details and her latest article.
So right now we're going to go to some more music. So it's a song for all you Two-Tone fans. It's The Specials and Too Much Too Young.
Too much too young. You've done too much too young. You're married with a kid when you could be having fun with it. No more thinking. You've done too much too young. And now you're married with a son when you should be having fun with it.
Join me, DJ Darren Hoy, each and every Wednesday, like clockwork, 9 through to 11 p.m. for the Reggae Takeover. The Reggae Takeover delivering you everything from pure snap, crackle and pop warmth of the vinyl, pure 45, to fresh from the yard tunes, never heard anywhere in the world, trust me. So join me, DJ Darren Hoy, with the Reggae Takeover live each and every Wednesday, 9 through to 11 p.m, live on Seclo Sound. Fill your heart with sunshine and enjoy.
Hello, my name is Ricky.
I'm Nathan.
And we are going to be bringing you the Ricky and Nathan Show every Wednesday, 9:30am on Seclo Sounds.
Community radio for Milton Keynes.
We've got music,
entertainment news,
weather,
travel,
and local music. The Ricky and Nathan Show every Wednesday, 9:30am on Seclo Sounds.
And don't forget, we're live! But if you can't listen to us live, make sure you press that demand button. Click.
And coming up, we're hearing from Peter about some madness, absolute madness, which is a 100-mile MK Infinity Run. But first, I caught up with Gordon Moles of Kids Out to find out more about what they do and who they help. So I'm here with Gordon Moles from Kids Out, or I could say Air Commander Gordon Moles, CBE. Would it be all right to call you just Gordon?
It would be good.
Okay.
That's my name.
Okay, that'd be great. Welcome to Lifestyle MK on Seclo Sounds. Gordon, could you start by telling me about Kids Out and what it is so people can actually know what Kids Out means?
Kids Out is a national charity. We're not well known because we don't spend money on marketing and things like that, but we do a lot of good work. Mm-hmm. Our main aim is to bring fun and happiness into disadvantaged children's lives. And it can be any disadvantage that we look after to take on a day out. Mm-hmm. We tend to try and take the same disadvantage together in a group on a day out because children who are on a positive experience tend to talk to each other in a matter-of-fact way, and they'll learn they're not alone and there's other children in the same situation.
So what kind of groups of children are we talking about? Who would you get together?
Well, we do all groups, but the most successful groups that we've had is siblings of children who've got cerebral palsy. Often they're forgotten about, mm-hmm. and often the parents are having to concentrate so much on the child with cerebral palsy that they feel that maybe the mother, father don't love them as much, but when they're with other groups in the same situation, it learns that way. Yeah. We do a lot with hospices and that of, again, not the children or the parents that are dying, but the children of those, their own
their siblings
and also that side, and that is good work. Other charities do that work as well in that area, but it's good work. Mm-hmm. But our key area that we focus on is refuge children, mm-hmm. children who have escaped domestic violence and sought sanctuary in a refuge, and they can be stuck there for quite a time, so we try and take them out of that place. Generally they're fairly miserable places. I describe them as worse than prison, mm-hmm. because they don't have Sky TV, they don't have gymnasiums, and there's an abuser often out to try and get them, so they're there for their own protection before they get moved away to another area away from family, friends. So we do a lot of support for refuge children. When they go into refuge, we take them on a day out. After a few months we give them a workshop where we try to identify greatest needs. We work with many other charities to try and then take them through life to help them get over the experiences. When they get relocated, we provide a box of brand new toys for them when they arrive in home, because generally they end up there with nothing other than clothes on their back. So it's trying to show somebody cares, trying to build up the self-esteem and try and help those who have suffered most.
And you mentioned some other charities. Do you work alongside other charities, or do you deliver all this yourself?
No, we identify ourselves, but we work with the likes of Chicken Shed, took 40 of our children last year. We work closely with charities in Birmingham, where we've done a lot of work there locally. We've worked with Bernardo's, we've done work with NSPCC, we're trying to form an alliance just now. I would say that we've contributed to a great success recently. The best news came out on 9th of March, where the government allocated £10 million to help at refuges to provide more money for local authorities there. But key to that, which has been forgotten before, is a campaign we've had for over 2 years to provide counselling for children. And this money being made available for the next 2 years, just been announced. And for us, this is the best news we've heard, and that will affect Milton Keynes, the refugees in Milton Keynes. We work closely with there to provide our services in a number of areas, and for me, it is a great thing.
That sounds wonderful news. You mentioned Milton Keynes. As you know, Secular Sounds is a Milton Keynes community radio station. Lifestyle MK, the show, is a part of that. Are there any groups that you can identify that you can tell us about? I know with refugees, obviously, we're being very careful about identity and not exposing them.
Well,